McKenna Rose Brown interview, take one.
I've always wanted to do that. I've never done that before. Sorry.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready, I think so. It's hard for me to come up with words about myself. I would like to say I'm bold, spazzy. I was always told you're too loud, you're too crazy, you're too much. And I have now found that those are my strengths. My mom was Mrs. Utah 1984. One of her jobs was she would model and she would act, and I was in commercials, and she kind of threw me into things, and she's like, you have the natural body type, your personality, like you're made to be on stage. It was fun, so I did it, and I was first runner-up one year, and then I aged out, and then I got married really young. I got thrown into an amazing life with my husband, but it wasn't what I was ever expecting in my life. He had 3 homes, he had like this established career, and I was 21, and then I got pregnant right away, and then 6 months later, I was already pregnant again, and then I'm in charge of our finances. It was really overwhelming, so I never like to complain to people because they'd be like, well, what do you have to complain about? You have such a good life. And I'm thinking, it's not that I don't, I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. And I felt lonely again. Like I just felt like, where do I belong? The crown symbolized belonging, fitting in, connection, all the things I didn't feel like I had. I never felt like I was measuring up. And I was almost like, look, I got the crown, I won, I did it. I can't keep anything else together, but I got the crown. I wanted nothing to do with being a mom. I wanted to be everywhere but home. I mean, I would lie. Like, how are things? Everything's great. My life is so perfect. My kids, oh, what a blessing. They're, and you just act like I lied. Because you don't share your struggles and hardships because then people judge you. We're all on stage, we're all in an act because it matters what everybody thinks. And we don't talk about what's really going on at home. I was trying to keep up with what I thought I should be doing at church for my neighbors. Even all the right things as a mom, make sure, are your kids enrolled in everything? Are you involved in much at school? Are they dressed to the nines? I couldn't just go to the store by myself. I couldn't shower by myself. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. And I started to feel claustrophobic when I was breastfeeding. And you start to feel trapped. I almost resented the kids for taking away my freedom. Trying to keep it together while you have little humans rely on you can be overwhelming. My heart wanted nothing more than to be what my kids deserved. A mom who was mentally and emotionally strong. A mom who could keep the house together and herself together. But that wasn't my reality. I constantly felt like I was a pot of boiling water that I kept turning down, but I was always simmering. But at any moment, I would boil over. So it was constant rage. I broke the door handles in my bathroom because I would just pound them over and over again. I threw a chair against the wall. I didn't feel kind. I didn't feel loving. I didn't feel nurturing. But the shamed myself to the behavior hospital. I shamed myself to not want to be here anymore. I shamed myself to suicidal ideation of literally leaving this earth as a favor to my family. Nothing can articulate or put words to that feeling where you feel the world is better off without you. And I even sat there going, I know these aren't my thoughts, but I don't have the energy to get out. All I want to do is just not be here anymore. The moment I realized that I needed help was these thoughts can't be normal. Like, I don't think we're meant to live this way. I just had one sane thought to call Brittany. And when I called her, she didn't say, how are you? What do you need? She told me what I needed. Okay, McKenna, I'm gonna call this hospital. I'm gonna send you the location. This is where you're gonna go. Don't worry about anything else, then just get there.
So many women don't get help or talk about their struggles because of stigma. We are
inundated with this idea that we're supposed to be blissed out, enjoying this. It's the happiest time of our lives. We're thriving. We're supposed to, project this image of the perfect happy mom and partner or wife. And to go against that cultural stereotype and that expectation is, in many women's eyes, failing. It takes a lot of strength and courage and some safe people in your world, ideally a partner that says, this is common but not normal. So the more we can send that message and actually give parents the tools to do that, the more safe women will feel to access help.
I think that the basis of saving your life is asking for help and being vulnerable enough to say, I'm not safe. People will come to your rescue, and God, part of him carrying your load is he places the right people in your life. I heard about Emily's story after the birth of my second child. I felt connected to her, and in that moment, I just couldn't stop thinking about her, and I remember following her story that they launched a nonprofit. That day, I bought a shirt. Then fast forward to after the birth of my second, and I was going to the behavior hospital. I thought of her that day. I felt Emily with me that day. This is how she felt. I didn't know her, but I felt her and connected with her. It still gives me goosebumps to talk about it because I remembered her. She touched me. And that was really a large part of me seeking help, is I constantly kept thinking of Emily. And here I am realizing I get to share my story in honor of her. I'm just not afraid anymore to tell people because I'm really secure and confident that this is my journey and my path. Nobody is exempt from mental health. Just because you may not have driven yourself to the behavior hospital or you're not medicated OCD or all these extreme stories that you don't want to live that way. You don't have to live that way.
I want everyone to know you're not alone. You're not crazy. We're all in this together, and we're all Wonder Women.
What would you say to Emily if you had the chance?
It's gonna make me cry. The first thing I'd want to do is I would just hug her, because it's in those moments where you feel like you're ruining your family and you're ruining your husband and you're just such a burden to others. And I'd want to tell her that she's stronger than she even knows and that she can do it. And I'd ask her if I could be a friend.
I am particularly passionate about speaking to moms who are yelling, who feel rageful, and they're behaving in ways that they feel a lot of shame around. These are signs of depression. They are not who you are as a woman. They're not who you are as a mom. They make you someone who's in need of more support. That's it. And the most courageous thing we can do is admit we need help and ask for it rather than muscle through. There's nothing but hope if we can let ourselves off the hook and stop replaying that tape that says, I should know how to do this, I should be better at this, I'm a terrible person. Those thoughts aren't helping you. If your thoughts are causing you suffering, it's time to find someone to help you think differently.
You can't get what you want by just asking for it. I have added these tools to my life through my mental health journey. It's been therapy. I've added intense spirituality, my connection with Christ through prayer and meditation, taking medication and being brave to take those steps. I've found healing in sharing my story and being honest. I will say, though, that I have definitely let go of a lot of perfectionism in my life. Letting my house be dirty, letting my kids make messes. I have let go of this perfectionistic idea of my body. The biggest thing that's been hard for me is getting down on myself like, oh, I thought I had this all figured out. And then God kind of throws a curveball at you. My husband's like, hey, maybe you go to this treatment facility for a little bit. And that's the next step for us. And it is hard to say those words. There was a moment where I thought I was going backwards and relapsing and I'm a fraud and all these things. And I thought, oh, maybe the message is that it's just my brain's evolving. We're just learning new thoughts and skill sets and tools to help us progress forward. I think back to when I was a young mom seeking for connection. And now I have such a community of friends and family, and it wasn't what I thought it or expected it to be. It was through being imperfect where I found my connections and community. You're worthy. Embrace the trials that come and be vulnerable. Know that motherhood, the way society tells you is supposed to be, isn't your journey. So stop beating yourself up for being different. You're worthy. You've always been worthy, and no one can take that from you.